Welcome back to another build order guide for 16 Marine stim into a 2-tank push with 1-1. This is my current TvZ that I'm working on the ladder right now, and it's been really good. Very beneficial. So this is probably my cleanest game. I could go into like a custom match, and maybe I'll do that at a different video to show a perfect match, but just try to show you how to control it. I want to talk about this game here. This is the absolute cleanest game I've ever played of 16 Marine stim drop. I did lethal damage. So we're just going to look at what's going on with my build here. You're opening up with a basic Reaper expand. So I'm just getting my camera location set there. So the idea of this, hold on, I'll save you from my switching through cameras. The idea of this is to get your 16 Marines and stim with 2 Medivacs out before the 5-minute mark. So I think the pro Bjorn will get his Medivac pop at 4 minutes 40 seconds, and he'll be on the other side of the map at 5 minutes. So I can usually get the Medivac to pop at 4:40, right on time. But getting it loaded up, getting across, doing all the follow-up of my build, I'm not a pro. So you'll see it's not the best, but my timings are really crisp on this game. I kind of mess up the transition a little bit, but I have 2 tanks and a couple Medivacs out on his side of the map right when I want them, right as my upgrades are finishing. The transition's starting, so it's really good. So what I'm going to do first is I'm sending out an SCV at 17. So I'll put a lot of the details into the comments below, but sending out this SCV at 17. And what I'm really working on with this SCV is I want to see if he's expanding or what he's doing. So if he's taking an expansion, or if he's not taking an expansion, he's going pool first, this is going to be a big call for me. So I'll show you I'll put it on my camera right now so you can see what I'm going to look at. I'm going to hop over to him. I see there's a hatch, so I build it on the low ground. So I build my base on the low ground. That's what that's for. So first little thing I'm doing is my first little part. Now, this I do it a different way than the pros do it. I drop the Mule, I get the SCV started, and then I drop the barracks. That's because I do this SCV scout. If you don't do this SCV scout, you have the minerals to actually drop that barracks before your orbital command's done. But I don't ever have the minerals for that. So the Reaper's going across the map now to see if he's going to take a third, and if he's droning his second. But during that time, you got to get your supply depot and your second gas. And I actually rallied this SCV over here, and I should actually rally that SCV over here. 23 supply right before, anytime before 2:30 is perfect. You've got your factory going down. Meanwhile, I'm just over here, and I'm seeing that he doesn't have a lot of, he actually doesn't have quite, a lot of drones on his natural, but that's because he's got 17 on his main. So just a bit of a rallying problem. I'll keep my Reaper alive out in the back. So as soon as your barracks is done, you're going to want to get a tech lab, have all your gases full, and now you're going to start your orbital command as soon as possible. Now I do see that he has this overlord here, so when my Marines pop, I'm going to go kill it. I get into his main. I want to see what kind of tech he's doing at this point, so I just run around. He doesn't have a roach warden. He doesn't have anything that I saw. So he's still mining off of 1 gas, but he doesn't have any tech. So I'm expecting, okay, he's going to get a third. So if he doesn't get a third, then I'm going to expect a lot of major pressure. So I'm just killing the overlord back at my house, and I'm going to take this Reaper now, and I'm going to run it over to one of the third spots. I've got my stim started up. I've got my reactor on the tech lab. I've got the reactor on my factory and my starport on its way. And he's not over here yet, but at 37 supply, or anytime at 35, usually it's 37 is when I start it. The supply depot is going to go down to start building my wall. Now I see that he's got his third up at a reasonable time. It's kind of late, but I want to, this is just plat 1. So I lose the Reaper here. I thought it was going to be okay, but I don't have the APM to keep it alive. But I'm pretty safe. It's only 4 lings that killed it. It wasn't like roaches or anything like that. So when you start your 2 Medivacs here, you're going to go 2 Medivacs, and then you're going to start engineering bay, double NG bays. And you're going to want to get your, as soon as your as soon as this pops, this is where I kind of mess up a little bit on my my build, but there is 0 damage coming down my way yet. So just keep it going, don't get supply blocked. And now I'm just kind of banking up gas so I can do 1-1 as soon as it's finished. So at the 2 Medivacs, I'm going to take my Starport, move it off. I want to put a barracks down on this. I want to start a tech lab on my factory, and then I want to open up 2 gas. That's my kind of little expansion here. Now I see he's only got 4 lings. I'm about to have more Marines down at the bottom, and I have a wall up. So no big issues on my side. I'm going to start 1-1 while I'm heading out across the map with my Medivacs. Let's get 1-1 started. See, a little bit of a mistake. I should start combat shields in 1-1. So combat shields should also start, but I might have forgotten combat shields in this game. Not a massive issue because I hit pretty hard. But here it goes, 5:30. This is what I mean, about 30 seconds late from the pros, just because it takes me some time to screw around with that. But I do massive damage back over here. Let's look at my camera. So I'm over here, I'm getting a lot of damage in. And then as soon as I see, like, okay, I'm pretty safe, I should hop back home. I'm staring at this a long time, actually. Is this my camera? Yeah, this is my camera. I'm waiting for a lot of Banes to come up, so as soon as I get it, I see the Banelings. I don't need to lose that. I get all of my stuff home. So massive damage on my first drop. Massive damage. Now what I'm going to do is I got my first tank finished. I'm going to start a second tank. I've got 1-1 already kind of in progress. I'm going to take my third. So there's my second tank, and now I'm going to get an armory. I'm going to get an armory over here, I think. I should have an armory. Yeah, there it is. So my idea is as soon as I get my second tank, I've got my Viking out. I got a Viking out here, and I'm going to start hunting overlords down with it. But my second drop, as soon as these upgrades are finished, I want to start +2/+2. I want to start double medevac production. I want to keep my tanks moving. I still haven't gotten combat shields. This is a big mistake. But fill my gas. I've got my 4th base down. So this is going to, or 3rd base down. This is my kind of transition into the mid game. But right now I've got my 2 tanks. And as soon as 1-1 finishes, I should already kind of be moving out to his 3rd. So remember from the early game, I saw that he was taking his 3rd over here. This is his newest base with my Reaper. So I'm expecting that that's going to be my my juicy spot to take it. So now I'm moving out. I got 1-1. I'm going to start 2-2. And then +1. And now I'm just going to spend all this gas that I'm kind of banking up right here. And I'm just going to walk over to this spot. And I'll kind of show you how to control the siege up as well. But I feel like at this level of the game, I'm only in Plat 1. Having my follow-up clean and moving before I do my actual damage is more important than getting out and doing the damage right now. Having this kind of be my main focus is my transition correct. The faster I get at this transition, the cleaner that gets, the sooner this attack will push. But I try to say if I can be in their base by 7:30, I'm very happy. So let's take a look at this behind. I've got all this going on, but here's let's talk about this engagement a little bit. I've got my tanks kind of in the corner where they can't get surrounded. I see the Banelings. What I did there is I control-clicked. Yeah, he just left the game after that. But what I did there is I control-clicked my tanks and I clicked the Banelings. So control-click, click, killed all of his Banelings because they were piled up, and then my Marines were able to stay alive and just massacre his army. So massive damage on the my first drop into his main. Killed literally everything. And then second drop, 7:30. It was a little bit late. I have my upgrades 1-1. Pushing in, I'm getting 2-2. Right now, I've got my 3rd base established. I'm getting 3 more barracks down behind this. And gonna push out. So I'll put my actual build order that I use in the description below. But please understand that it's not exactly what I did here, especially during the transition part. This push was also a little bit late, and I didn't get combat shields. But I kind of wanted to show you that even in Plat 1, I didn't lose any units. Let's see how many units I lost. Units lost. I lost 8 units this whole game. This whole game of 8 minutes, I lost 8 units, and he lost 450. 3,000 minerals versus less than 100 minerals. I've never had this clean of a game before. So, you know, 200 APM on this guy. He's, you know, not screwing around. He's got a lot of queens, but uh, this is my build. Really quick, I guess, just to show what he could have done better. Uh, from my standpoint as a Zerg, let's look at 5 minutes when I get that drop in. Let's see where his army is. Let's see where his army is and where his overlords are. So right here is where I have my drop coming out. Let's look at his overlord spread. Let's fast forward just a little bit. There's my drop coming out. Okay, so my drop is here. It's coming over. Let's see where his overlords are. We've got one here, useless overlord. Got one here, useless overlord. This is a good overlord. Useless overlord. So out of all of his overlords right now, he has how many? 6. 1, 2, 3. About half of his overlords are in ridiculous spots. Where he should be, he's got his queens in really good areas to spread the creep, but he has nothing over here on his third. He doesn't have any kind of anchor on his third, and he's also floating 500 minerals. But besides that, his unit rest position... Oh, wait, let me see, where's his lings? Did he just not have any lings? Okay, yeah, he also had just no lings. Now he has 16 of them. These lings should always be kind of like by the most droppable point. What he should have done, this overlord always should be over here to catch any drops coming in. This overlord's good here, but you should have another overlord here at the edge of all your creep with your queens. So your queens are in good spots. Your overlord, that's a good overlord. This one needs to be up here. This one definitely needs to be way over here. This one's fine. It didn't catch my drop because I know better than to move out here. I kind of move in over my third when I drop, and just how I do my drop. But he had no vision back behind here, and this is a really vulnerable spot for drops on this map. So I could have done one of two things. I could have dropped right here, taken the queen out, started moving the creep spread back, and I definitely had enough to kill all of his lings because he's just being really greedy. He's up to 41 workers because I don't think he knows what I'm doing. No, but he does see that I have double NG bays, which means I'm doing the 16 stim marine drop. So he had some vision, but he should have maybe sent an overlord in to scout what I was doing. But yeah, I think his overlord placement was bad. If he was able to see my drop coming in, he would have been able to stop it, or at least shoo it away with these lings, and then drone up his third, and then get more map control. But I just obliterate like all of his workers here with it. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.